Assalamu alaikum. This is Shahana Wahid, and today we will start the philological course of the lab number 407. And first of all, we will discuss about the physiological experiments related to blood. Before going further, we must understand what is blood. Now let's start it. Blood is a body fluid that is found in human and other animals that deliver the necessary substances like nutrients and oxygen to each cell and transport back the metabolic waste product away from the same cells. So basically, it is very important substance which is mainly responsible for the supply of the nutrients and oxygen for the survival of the cells, for providing the energy to the cells, and after that it is also responsible for the removal of the metabolic waste away from the cells. As far as its composition is concerned, mainly it comprises of the blood cells as well as that are suspended in blood plasma, and this blood is basically circulated through the entire body by means of specialized veins and arteries or capillaries. So basically, blood is a connective tissue which contains these cells along with the plasma. Plasma is basically a liquid vehicle which also contains some other substances along with these substances like nutrients like oxygen and hormones, enzymes, etc. What are the main functions of the blood? The main function of the blood is that it is very essential for the survival of a cell, for a survival of an organism. It provides or supplying oxygen to cells and tissues. It provides the essential nutrients to the cells such as amino acid, glucose, fatty acids after the process of the digestion. It also helpful for the removal of the waste material and such as urea, lactic acid and carbon dioxide. It is also playing a part in the immunity, and it protect the body from the infection and foreign bodies, and the cells are responsible are basically the WBCs, which are either acting as a barrier or they are prevent the infection by creating the antibodies. Then it also responsible for the transporting of the certain hormones from one part of the body to the another and transmitting the messages and completing the important processes. It also responsible for the regulation of the acidity of the body, and it is also responsible for the maintenance of the body temperature. The fluid volume is also regularized by the blood, which exert pressure इन अ ब्लड, जिसकी वजह से एक बीपी जो है वो मेंटेन होता है एंड सो दैट कि पूरी एक इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ लाइफ जो है वो कंटिन्यू रहती है. What is the composition of the blood? Blood mainly comprises of two portions. One are the form element and another is the plasma. And you can see this is basically the isolation of blood from a human organism, human body. And after that the blood is undergoes centrifugation process. When it undergoes centrifugation process, it is noticed that form elements will settle down at the bottom of the centrifuge tube, and in between there is a Buffy coat which is less than 1%, and plasma is separated which is above the Buffy coat. Buffy coat is basically the coat which comprises of 1% WBCs एंड प्लेटलेट्स, जो कि इसके सेंटर में जो आ जाएंगे. रेड ब्लड सेल्स जो है वो नीचे सेटल डाउन हो जाएंगे, और जो अपर पार्ट है वो प्लाज्मा है. क्लियर प्लाज्मा हमारे पास सेपरेट हो जाता है इस तरह. सो प्लाज्मा इज अबाउट 55%, which is mainly comprises of the solutes, that is 8% solutes and 90% water. If we talk about the remaining content, that is about 8%, it contains certain gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. It contains glucose and hormones, and beside that it also contains proteins. The main protein is albumin, and after that we have alpha and beta globulins, and we also have fibrinogen and electrolytes. Electrolytes are basically mineral salts. It contains iron, and it retains the oxygen until it is in this destination. The lifespan of the RBC is about 4 months, and body replaces them regularly. And if we talk about its quantity in our blood, usually 1 drop of the blood is contain about 4.5 to 6.2 million cells in a man, and 4.0 to 5.2 million in a woman. So surprisingly, it is our body produces around 2 million blood cells every second. तो ये जो cells हैं, ये basically they are most abundant, सबसे ज़्यादा blood में पाए जाते हैं, और सबसे ज़्यादा function इनका ही है कि ये जो main function है blood का, ये perform करते हैं. What are the characteristic of the erythrocytes? If we talk about their diameter, it is about 7.5 micrometer. सेंटर से जो है वो जो है इंग्रेव्ड होते हैं बाइकॉनकेव डिस्क के. ए न्यूक्लिएट है, इट मीन्स के इसमें न्यूक्लियस नहीं है. न्यूक्लियस नहीं है, जो फाइनल इनके की मैचुरेशन है उसमें न्यूक्लियस जो है वो रिमूव हो जाता है फ्रॉम दी रेटिकुलोसाइट. The process of the production of RBC is called as hematopoiesis, and the main function is to transport respiratory gases. It is mainly comprised of the hemoglobin, which is a quaternary structure comprised of 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. So furthermore, it lacks mitochondria, and about 1 RBC contains about 280 million hemoglobin molecules. This is the normal limit, that per cube of the blood, the man contains about 5 million cells, and there is slightly lesser cells are present in women. Their lifespan is about 100 to 120 days, and they are mainly destroyed by the spleen. This is the structure of the protein hemoglobin that is found in the blood, and it is basically an iron rich protein, and it is responsible for the absorption of the oxygen and distribution of the oxygen. It carries the oxygen from the lungs to the tissues of the body. When someone has insufficient red blood cells, so the condition is called as anemia. Each hemoglobin protein can carry 4 molecules of oxygen, and every one of the body cell needs oxygen to repair and for the survival. So hemoglobin is mainly responsible for helping the RBC to have this shape like structure, and it also helps the RBC to move through the vessels. इस hemoglobin की वजह से इसका जो quaternary structure है, इसने फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी प्रोड्यूस की है आरबीसीज के अंदर. If we talk about the concentration of the hemoglobin, usually जो amount है हमारे पास वो जो है प्रिडिक्टर है, and it is expressed in grams per deciliter. Grams per deciliter of the blood जो है वो दिखाए जाते हैं, and usually 13.5 gram per deciliter is considered as a normal for the man, and 12 gram per deciliter for the woman. And in children, normal levels varies according to the age, and if there is high hemoglobin level, it could be indicative of the any rare blood disorder like polycythemia, where there are too many RBCs. And here the blood is usually more viscous as compared to the normal due to the increased concentration of the RBCs. And if there is low level of hemoglobin, it mainly indicative of the anemia. And there are several types of anemia. We will separately discuss it. That is iron deficient anemia, and we have vitamin deficient anemia, aplastic anemia, hemolytic anemia, sickle cell anemia, etc., etc. So we will discuss the anemia in a separate lecture. Mostly hematopoiesis is a process is for the formation of the RBC, and the location where this formation occur is the red bone marrow of the axial skeleton, and the exact location is basically the epiphysis of the humerus and femur bone. तो bone marrow के अंदर basically ये जो production है RBC की होती है, and जो hematoblasts हैं, they are the hematopoietic stem cells that give rise to the formed elements. Several hormones and growth factors also participate to grow, to push the cell towards a specific pathway of blood cell development, and new blood cells then after the formation enter into the sinusoids. In erythropoiesis, red blood cell production, initially hemocytoblast is converted into a proerythroblast, and then proerythroblast will convert into an early erythroblast. These are the phases of the development. Number 1 is the ribosomal synthesis phase, in which ribosomes are synthesized. Then after that there is the accumulation of the hemoglobin, and at the end there will be the ejection of the nucleus and the formation of reticulocytes. Then reticulocytes then become mature, and it finally convert into the erythrocytes. This is the scheme where initially these stem cells, hemocytoblasts, are present, which convert into the proerythroblast. Then there will be early erythroblast, in which there is ribosome synthesis. Step 2 is the hemoglobin accumulation, and then conversion into the normoblast. After that the nucleus is removed, which is the ejection of the nucleus, and the final mature RBCs are formed. How the erythropoiesis is regulated, and basically it is under the triggering factor for the formation of RBC is the hypoxia and the blood viscosity. If there is hypoxia and there is low blood viscosity, it is mainly responsible for the initiation of the erythropoiesis. So there will be a balance between the RBC's production and the destruction, और ये two-way process है, continue process है, on and off process है, ये एक दूसरे को balance रखता है, so that जो कि constant concentration है blood में RBC's की वो constant रह सके. It needs adequate supplies of iron, amino acids and B vitamins. If the person is not taking the enough iron or deficient of certain amino acids and vitamins, then erythropoiesis will not take place at the equilibrium concentration, and there will be a shift of the erythropoiesis. There will be more destruction as compared to the production of the RBC, which lead to the anemia. The hormonal control of the erythropoiesis is under the control of the kidney, where erythropoietin is released, which is the direct stimulus for the erythropoiesis, and it basically released in the response of the hypoxia. This is the illustration of the hormonal control of the erythropoiesis, and if hypoxia is there, reduced oxygen carrying capacity of the blood will trigger the hormone release by the kidney, which is the erythropoietin, and this hormone basically develop the erythrocytes and in red bone marrow, and this red bone marrow, after that they will release mature RBCs in the bloodstream, which increase the oxygen carrying capacity, which in turn inhibit its release from the kidney. So this is the cycle जिसमें हमारे पास अगर ऑक्सीजन कैरिंग कैपेसिटी ब्लड की डिक्रीज होगी तो एरिथ्रोपोइटिन जो है वो रिलीज होगा, और अगर नहीं है और अगर हाइपोक्सिक कंडीशन खत्म हो गई है तो फिर एरिथ्रोपोइटिन जो है वो नेगेटिव फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म में चला जाएगा. Other जो है what are the causes of the hypoxia? The first main cause is the hemorrhage or accident or trauma in which there is a sudden blood loss. पहला जो है हमारे पास कॉज ये कि एकदम सडन ब्लड वॉल्यूम एंड ब्लड लॉस जो है वो हो गया, जो कि लीड करेगा सेलुलर हाइपोक्सिया के. Another option is that there is increased RBC destruction and reduced number of RBC. एक कंडीशन ये भी कि नॉर्मल जो RBC destruction है वो एक्सेलरेट हो जाए, and there will be the insufficient hemoglobin due to the iron deficiency. The person is not taking enough iron in the diet. That will lead to the insufficient hemoglobin, that lead to the insufficient formation of the RBCs, and then lead to the hypoxia. Another condition is that there is which is the environmental condition in which there is reduced oxygen in the environment. For example, in case of high altitude blood, there is less oxygen available in the environment, which increases the blood and the number of RBCs in the blood by the stimulation of the erythropoiesis. तो वो जितने भी हमारे पास लोग हैं जो कि हाई माउंटेन एरियाज में रहते हैं, दे हैव दी हाई ब्लड काउंट, आरबीसी उनके ज्यादा होते हैं, दे हैव हाई हीमोग्लोबिन काउंट एज वेल. What are the effects of the erythropoietin? They basically helpful for the rapid maturation of the cells present in the bone marrow, and they are responsible for the increased circulation of the reticulocyte within 1 to 2 days. Another hormone which also enhances the erythropoietin production is the testosterone, and due to testosterone there will be a higher RBC count in the males as compared to females. This is the normal blood cell production जो कि हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, एंड उसमें हमारे पास बेसिकली अगर शिफ्ट है हमारे पास एरिथ्रोसाइट्स की, तो वो जो है वो फिर जो है हो सकता है कि हम आरबीसी यानी ये पूरी ब्लड सेल प्रोडक्शन में इसमें हम देखेंगे कि आरबीसी के साथ साथ डब्ल्यूबीसी की प्रोडक्शन भी है एंड प्लेटलेट्स की भी है. तो एरिथ्रोसाइट्स की प्रोडक्शन के लिए हमारे पास एरिथ्रोब्लास्ट एक्टिवेट होगा, लेकिन जो दूसरा स्टेम सेल्स है वो है माइलोब्लास्ट विच इज आल्सो प्रेजेंट इन द बोन मैरो, एंड मायोब्लास्ट एंड मोनोब्लास्ट एंड लिम्फोब्लास्ट are the stem cells for the WBCs, which producing different type of granular and agranular leukocytes. If we talk about the agranular leukocytes, they are the main progenitor stem cell is the monoblast and lymphoblast, while myeloblast is basically a granular stem cell which lead to the granular leukocytes. These are neutrophils, eosinophil and basophils. So all these types are basically responsible for the production of the WBC, and after that we have the megakaryoblast, which is basically responsible for the formation of the platelets. This figure reflects the formation and destruction of the RBC, and if we talk about the normal lifespan, it is about 120 days before being destroyed, and the mature RBC usually don't contain nucleus, no mitochondria and no endoplasmic reticulum. However, it has cytoplasmic enzymes that are capable of metabolizing glucose and forming small amounts of adenosine triphosphate. These enzymes are mainly responsible that maintains the integrity of the cell membrane, and they also maintain the membranous transportation of the ions, and it also keep the iron of the cells, that is hemoglobin, in the ferrous form rather than the ferric form. ठीक है, तो इसमें जो हमारे पास हीमोग्लोबिन है उसमें जो आयरन है वो फेरस फॉर्म में होता है, एंड अदरवाइज इट विल बी नॉट इफेक्टिव फॉर दी कैरिंग दी ऑक्सीजन. अगर ये कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा फेरिक में तो फिर ये कॉजिंग होगा मैट हीमोग्लोबिन की. Furthermore, it also prevents the oxidation of the proteins in the RBCs. However, when they are become old red blood cells, they are become progressively less active, and the cell membrane become more and more fragile. जैसे जैसे इनकी लाइफ स्पेन इंक्रीज होते जाता है, दे आर नाउ इंक्रीजिंग के ये वेयर ऑफ हो सके. वंस द सेल मेम्ब्रेन बिकम्स फ्रेजाइल, द सेल रप्चर, and when it rupture basically during the passage through some tight pores of the circulation. तो जब ये circulation में होता है blood, और जब tight pores से इसका सापका पड़ता है, then the membrane become fragile due to aging, and this will lead to the hemolysis. When it become hemolyzed, then the RBC's self-destruction is take place in the spleen, where it squeezes through the red pulp of the spleen. So जो spaces है spleen के दरमियान, it is about 3 micrometer wide, and in comparison with 8 micrometer diameter of the RBC. So destruction of the hemoglobin is take place in the spleen, and the RBC burst out and release hemoglobin, and the hemoglobin is then immediately phagocytized by the macrophages, and in many parts of the body, especially by the Kupffer cells of the liver and the macrophages of the spleen and the bone marrow. So here there are 3 places जहाँ पे basically mainly जो हीमोग्लोबिन है वो फेगोसाइटोसिस के प्रोसेस के अंदर जाकर इसमें जो है वो कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. After that, the hemolysis during the next few hours, 2 days, the macrophages basically releases iron from the hemoglobin and pass it back into the blood, and either it is carrying back to the bone marrow for the production of the new RBCs, or to the liver and to other tissues for the storage purpose, that is in the form of ferritin. यानी आयरन जो है कुछ जो है वो उसमें चला जाएगा ब्लड सेल्स में, एंड कुछ जो है वो रीअपटेक हो जाएगा बोन मैरो से, या तो एंड देन कुछ आयरन स्टोर हो जाएगा in the form of ferritin. So the porphyrin portion of the hemoglobin molecule is converted by the macrophages through a series of the stages, and porphyrin ring जो है वो convert होगा blue ribbon pigment में, which is released in the blood, and then later on it's removed by the body by the secretion through the bile through the liver. So this is the normal pathway in which we have the blue ribbon formation at the end, which is mainly due to the destruction of the RBCs. In other lecture, we will discuss the RBC disease, and mainly the RBC disease, the most common disease is the anemia, in which there is a low oxygen carrying capacity of the blood due to the either insufficient RBC or due to the insufficient iron, or due to certain factors like iron, like vitamin B12 deficiency, which can lead to the iron deficiency anemia. So diseases will be disorder will be considered in the next lecture. Thank you.